Hello there, this is Joshua. So today I'm sharing my analysis on AUDJPY, US30 and USDCAD. I'll start with AUDJPY. I'm on the weekly time frame. So on AUDJPY, I've marked some highs and lows. Also, I've drawn some structures here. So price broke this low here, this low. So there was liquidity here. So grabbing that liquidity and price pushed up. Plus, this descending channel was a very strong indication that price will start going up. And price has a tendency of reaching the start of a correction, and this descending channel is a correction. So it will reach, it will probably reach this area here, or this area. It will break one of those highs. So and another tendency price has is moving in terms of impulse, correction, impulse. So you can see this was an impulse, this is a correction, so an impulse. So this type of structure, it happens everywhere. So you can see impulse, correction, impulse. You can even see it on the lower time frames. So if you go on the lower time frame, you see this same pattern. So I'll go on the daily time frame so that we can see further. On the daily time frame, price has made this impulse. This is a correction, another impulse. Now you observe it has made another correction here, and this correction is similar to what was happening on the weekly time frame. You can see this is a descending channel, very strong reversal of pattern. So these are indicating okay, price will go on top. So since it's coming from a very impulse move to the upside, so you can call it this is a bull flag. So it is more like a continuation pattern on the daily time frame. So when price broke this low here, it grabbed liquidity here. It grabbed liquidity, and that was very important for me to say okay, price will probably go up. So after that, there were actually some trades I took advantage here, but I won't explain them. I'll explain the trades that I've taken right now. Okay. So the first trade I took was this one on this structure here, and this one was like last week, but it's still running. So when price broke this one here, it came back, retested it, went up, came back, retested. I was anticipating okay to break this low here to grab liquidity, but that's not what happens always. So now if that doesn't happen, then a new pattern has formed. This pattern is called a symmetric triangle. So I didn't just enter because it's a symmetric triangle. There I waited for a correction on the lower time frame, which is the 15 minutes time frame. So let me just even go to the 15 minutes time frame so that you can observe. So this was my trade here. So when price came here, rejected, made a double bottom, moved up, made a correction. After price broke that correction, that's where I entered. So that's where I entered here. When price broke that correction, you can observe even here, price today I was anticipating okay, if price breaks that correction, I'll enter it. Bro, first of all, it went and broke this low here. You can see grabbed liquidity, then started going up. After that, then it breaks this trend line. After the break of that trend line, I entered with the stop loss below there. So my target for both of these positions, is here. Why? The same thing that I explained on the weekly time frame. Price has a tendency of reaching the start of a correction, and this is a correction. On the daily time frame, you can call it a bull flag. It's also a descending channel. So price has got a high probability of reaching that point. Okay. So this my risk to reward ratio there is like 1 to 19. So 19%, that's my target for this other position. This other one 5.7%. So probably like 24% there. Okay. So 24 to 25%, because there is in fact it's 5 point something and this one is probably 19 point, okay, 19. So 24% on this position. When it reaches that target, it doesn't have to reach, but that's a probability. So here we work in terms of probability. So that's my analysis on AUDJPY. Another pair I'm looking at is US30. US30, since I haven't entered a trade today on US30. This trade I entered, this was a this trade I entered last week, but it's still running. Um, I'll go on the weekly time frame. So on the weekly time frame, let me just close that. On the weekly time frame, you can observe I indicated this low. Let me even just go direct to the daily time frame so that you can see more clearly what's happening there. So on the daily time frame, you can see, okay, as that was the low that I marked on the weekly time frame. So but on the daily time frame, you can observe a structure here. This is a falling wedge. A falling wedge is similar to the descending channel. They both indicate, okay, price has got a high probability of going up. So, and there were a lot of supporting structures here that happened here. After that price came here, there was this inverted head and shoulders here. Price pushed, and then price has made another correction. And this correction, you can see this is just an inverted head and shoulders. From there, this is the left shoulder, this is the head, this is the right shoulder. Okay, just like that. So there are three patterns here that are supporting this move. One, this is a falling wedge at a significant area. Two, it's there's this just this part here. You can just get this part. When it touch that, the third part is one, two, three. The third touch there. It was it was a head and shoulders pattern here, a small head and shoulders. If you go in the lower time frames, you can see it clearly. So that's a head and shoulders, and there's a bigger head and shoulders pattern, also this descending channel. So all these are supporting structures that, okay, price will go on top on this pair. Mm, Now let me show you how I entered this trade here. Okay, we just put the chart nicely. Okay, so you can see this was the head and shoulders I was talking about. So price now, when price broke this low, let me just get that. When price broke this low, you can see the same psychology, the same analysis. It's the same thing that's happening here on the 1 hour time frame. Um, you can see price broke that, grabbed liquidity. After grabbing liquidity, then price went up. The same thing. So we are looking at the same thing. The grab of liquidity, getting liquidity doesn't always have to happen, but it's in the significant area and other supporting structures. So that's what I look at. After that, then there was this correction. After this correction, you can see even this correction, the same thing. After this correction, what did I wait for? I waited for the break of this low. After the break of this low, price grabbed liquidity. So grabbed liquidity, then closed above, and then I entered. That's how I took advantage of this trade here. Yeah, that's how I took advantage of this trade here. So today I haven't entered on this trade. So today I haven't capitalized on this trade. I'm waiting for, because there's a zone here, price can come, make a correction, can come and make a correction at this point, then push up. Okay. So my target for this pair is this one, because you can see there's a zone there, and price will make one impulse correction, impulse. So I'll take my profits there. So about 9%. If when this other pattern it happens, I'll take another position, then I'll take advantage of that move there. So this is what's happening on US30. Another pair I'm looking at is the USD card. On USD card, I'll be fast in explaining here. uh, I haven't taken a trade on USD card. So on USD card, you can see there was an impulse. This is a correction. So I'm waiting for another impulse here. Okay, so impulse, correction, impulse. So I'll go to the day. Let me just even go to the 4 hour time frame. 4 hours time frame. On the 4 hours time frame, you can see this. Uh, Price broke that high there. One, grabbing liquidity. Plus, there is this supporting structure. This is a channel. This supporting structure here. So that channel, then it doesn't have to be perfect. The third that doesn't have to be perfect. Sometimes it projects like this, then comes back inside there. So you can see. So at this point, I'm waiting for a correction. So I'm waiting for a correction at this point because price has reached this trend line. So at this point, I'm waiting for a correction. So when price makes a correction, maybe just like that, then drops, I'll take advantage. It can be a small correction, but I'll wait for a correction that will happen at that point. And my target for this one will be, let me just cancel those things. My target for this one will be this trend line here. Okay, so that's my target for this. Yeah, if that position happens, I'll take advantage, and my target will be that trend line. Yeah, I think that's all here on for today. So I'll update you on what will happen next on all the three pairs, and maybe other positions that I'll take advantage of on the same pairs or the other pairs that I trade. All right. Subscribe to the channel for more analysis. Yeah, I'll go in depth. So you may comment below for anything, any kind of anything that you want to see on this channel. So peace out.